How about that? Oh, they said it couldn't be done. I'll be honest, we're not the brightest bulbs.
Right? You should have seen the last half hour.
Whoa, what was that noise?
It started weird today. I got a virus today. And I found out that I've got a relative that can fix a virus. I'm set. I got a computer guy now.
You got a guy that can tell you how to do it over the telephone.
Well, I had to do this thing called Team Viewer. Come here.
Come on, scroll it.
This thing called Team Viewer, where you hook him in. All of a sudden, he's moving your mouse around. He's seeing your screen. It's pretty cool.
Should we yell some hellos?
Yeah, let's do that. I'll go to the very, very top here. We have Tampa, B-Man, DS Kitty. Hi, Diane.
I love Tampa Bay. Good to see
Justin
you,
S. Dale Cox. How you doing, bro? Keith.
Dale.
Lego. Your damaged goods, Keith. Mischief managed. Oh my God, Johnny scheduled something, right?
Right? No, don't get it messed up. If it wasn't for me, Johnny wouldn't have done that. That's not
I still pulled the trigger manually at 7, though, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
Jason P. Sporting a new ranch. Thank you.
He truthfully, he didn't do anything. He didn't schedule anything. It really didn't work that way. He just kind of hit go at 7 after saying you were going to do something. But
it's fact. He's not lying.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same thing. We also got to get you on StreamYard, for the love of God.
Bizzle.
Dizzy Dragon.
Where's Dizzy? Love Dizzy. Hi, Chili Phil.
Yeah, who else is yours? Kristen Melinda.
Nick. Dude, I love you. I'm the Noise Opera.
Yeah, Nick's fantastic.
DJ Daddio, Mr. Wolf. Katie did.
DJ Daddio. Much love.
Robert Springs.
This is an old folks gathering here is what it is, man. Mr. Wolf.
Rock Bandy, my dude.
Holy hell. This really is this is like an old folks gathering, man. Very, very cool. So I thought we'd get together, see what's going on with you. Love you too, Nick, for real. Much love, man.
Indeed.
One of the coolest people. Lori Driscoll, what's happening? Goosebumps 801. Good to see you. See that? I could do it from here. And they said I couldn't do it, right?
No, see that? I reached out to Bizzle. If I wasn't, he wouldn't be here. He had his phone set for an hour different.
Cosmic Christie. Good to see you, Cosmic Christie. Chili Phil. Been crushing the peppers this summer? Nice. See, they're hoping I'm going to burn. That's everybody. It's just that kind of.
You know what? Remember we said we weren't going to do that?
Yeah.
I might have.
I will beat you within an inch of your life, man.
I'm just kidding. William Foster.
Hey. Welcome. You look fantastic in green. Always been a big fan of the color green. There's Squirrel. Yeah, Squirrel is chilled. She's super chilled. She is one of those cats that always likes being around people, man. She really is. She is a people cat. We're not faking it.
Jesus Freak 24. Good to see you. She likes to be in the center of things. You should see what happens. He was on the couch. And I'm playing with her. She's getting attention. You get up and walk out, and she hops off the couch like she's trained. If you stopped, you're going to stand on her, and she's right by your feet.
No, my cat really digs me. There's absolutely
Cosmic Christie.
Yeah. Look at that. It's the Arabian Bard. 5 months. Scoville Brothers. You know what? Much love. You guys remember the 24-hour live? So look, the other night over on my channel, we kind of got into this trip down memory lane stuff, which happens a lot. And people said, you know what? I've been here since, whatever.
Right.
And I got I've been here since the 24-hour live, which was about, I guess, almost exactly 1 year ago. Kestrel 42. What's happening,
My
Kestrel?
other's keeper. I love that.
Hey, Cheeky.
Good to see you, Cheeky.
Yep, love that.
Thank you for joining us. First time here.
First time on the channel. Well, I'll be there.
I have love. Good to see you from Michigan.
Check that thing out. That's the.
You know what? It's not centered.
It's the vaunted
Actually,
silver play button, man. Yeah, it's you.
It is. It's centered. This isn't.
Yeah, the silver play button. That's the trophy they give you when you bust 100,000 subscribers. Russ Allen. You know what? Russ Allen needs a wrench.
Dee, good to see you. Yeah.
Yep. Russ Allen absolutely needs a wrench.
Do you mind taking a wrench?
Whether he likes it or not. No, he gets no choice. Russ is
where'd he go?
He's one of the fellas.
There he is.
Yeah. Sorry.
You show up late and we give you a wrench.
That's what happens, man. You get stuck. Fart around and find out. That's what happens, man.
Heavy lives ahead.
That is what happens. Body Illusion, good to see you, man. See, you know what? This is a good crowd.
Casey, good to see you. Spike, good to see you.
Nice to see you, Casey. You know what? Casey's got a nicer watch collection than I did. And that's no joke.
No joke. That's crazy.
Yeah, that hurts.
William, thank you. William gifted a membership.
I love that.
So cool. Thank you so much.
I love that. I really do. Just Joe, good to see you. What's happening?
Heather KS is here too.
A mixed bag of donuts. I like it.
You know what? Yeah.
I really do. I like it. It's a cool name.
All right.
It's been a long time, dude.
Yeah.
It really has.
You've been, by the way, you're murdering. proud of you, dude.
You know
Seriously, because you know what YouTube is. You know now because it's this. You have these every time your new normal is a little bit higher, hopefully, than the last one. But there's nothing but peaks and valleys, and you're on a peak right now, which is beautiful.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the peak. You know what it is? It's the Diddy Combs thing. Is
Diddy?
Damn right he did. That was never going to get old, by the way. No Diddy. This is just one of those things that it's federal, and anytime something is federal, they got to pull in some cats that. That can tell you what the inside of a prison cell.
And it is totally different. Here's the thing: we were just watching it. I'm looking at I stopped the video. I said, "Dude, is this where Diddy is? And what place? I think it was like Europe somewhere."
You know what? Some of the videos out there right now are so funny. If you watch, they're going to show you places that he's doing time, and you know what? It's BS. None of these things are actually federal prisons. They show stuff from other countries. They show, I mean, it's absolutely horrible, but it's not MDC Brooklyn.
I've got a great advantage being with you because I'm like, hey, stop. Is that real? Because if you don't have somebody who kind of knows, you're going to hear stuff that's just nonsense. We watched this thing that was showing where Diddy was. They showed a bunch of guys sitting around eating with metal plates and forks and knives.
Which I assure you, and Russ can back me up on this, they don't give you a lot of metal silverware in the joint. Oddly enough, they're afraid you're going to stab somebody with it.
Crazy.
Yeah, can't be trusted. It's a group of people that have been proven over time that they cannot. Wait a second. I'm
Mark,
sorry.
good to see you. Mark Pelvis.
40 days, still no cigarettes? I'm sorry, say that in my good ear? That's amazing, man.
I know it's.
How about that? The official participation trophy.
Do you know something, Nick? I probably should have told you this. I was doing a video the other day. What was it about? I talked about you. I probably should have. Oh, I know what it was. It was a video where I got a letter from somebody talking about the blacklist in the chili community. And, look, it is what it is. There are people that don't want to work with me, and there are people I don't want to work with. So everybody's got a blacklist, whether it's written down or not.
Right.
And I said, one of the questions was, can you get off the blacklist, and how do you do that? And I said, repent, change your behavior.
Right.
And sorry, they said, have you ever seen anybody do that? I'm like, you know what? Nick I have the
one.
Yeah, seriously, I'm the noise operator.
One.
And I use you as an example. If you haven't seen it, you should go find that video because
it's really good to see you, Catalina. What's happening? I'm glad you're here. And you know what? I do this with Nick every once in a while, and I know it probably embarrasses him, but I want to tell you something. People give me a lot of credit because I was in prison, and then I kind of turned my life, went from what I was doing to being a criminal to trying to help people stay sober. He did a bigger 180 than I did. I mean, I guarantee you he did a bigger 180 than I did. And he's just one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life now. And you don't see a lot of people that literally say, you know what, I'm unhappy with where I'm at. I'm going to change everything about myself. But Nick, you're a stud, man. You really are one of my favorite people. Absolutely one of my favorite people. But the one, right? The only.
Mark Palvo says, Tommy had to go to detox for a 10 milligram a day Klonopin addiction. That withdrawal was painful. Bro.
We were doing 10 milligrams of Klonopin a day.
Mark's a great guy.
Wow, brother. That's a lot of benzo right there, man. That's a lot.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Big steps.
Taking 5 2 milligrams a day. Do you remember much of that?
Hi, Sherry.
That stuff makes you forget. It really will clear
just like
memories. Oh man, worse, way worse. That is about the strongest benzo that they've got commercially these days. William Foster also gifted a
and it got to look at that body illusion. You look good in green, dude.
I love it. I love it.
Yankee Kyle.
Renee B, good to see you. Yankee Kyle, I'll be damned.
All right. So you brought up Diddy. The other thing, we're going to talk a little bit about Diddy. Because there's a lot of stuff that's true and a lot of stuff that's not.
You know something? Here's the deal. 90% of what you're seeing right now is BS. Sadly, that's the truth. 90% of what you're seeing is BS. And this is something we talk about most of the time. I'm a junkie. I'm an absolute true crime junkie. I really am. This is something I groove to. The reason that we talk about it on the boat is because these subjects actually fascinate me. This one in particular is so twisted. If even allegedly, if even a fifth of what they're alleging is true, then we live in the sickest country on planet Earth. And the stuff that's going on out in California and Hollywood makes Sodom and Gomorrah look like.
I feel like I need a chalkboard with like a diagram just to get it all. I can't, I'm like, it spreads wide. I don't know how, like a RICO case, they try everybody involved.
Yeah,
they're going to have 7,000 attorneys.
Well, on the bright side, they have 7,000 attorneys. I mean, the one thing that the Department of Justice has going for it is that it has 7,000 friggin' attorneys. And they also have, 20, 30, 40,000 agents that can go out and research and, look through all this stuff. He's going to go away for a really long time. But I think it's become, again, a cottage industry. And I probably feel stupid saying that because I'm crushing it. I'm getting a lot of views on Diddy. But be really careful what you watch. When you start listening to it and in a video, they're giving you the same thing and repeating it again and again.
Like in a 30-minute video, they'll repeat the same thing 6 times. You hear it the second time and you're only 7 minutes in, get out.
Those
you're
channels,
wasting your time.
Those channels weren't even in business 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm not kidding. Most of them pop up instantly and they do the most salacious. There's one going around that Diddy slept with his mom. Have you seen this one?
I might have.
Right. No, yeah. I'm not kidding you, man. This allegedly, Gene Deal, his bodyguard, claims that the relationship between Diddy and his mom was of a sexual nature, which is, I mean, honestly, you start getting to a point where you're like, this can't be real, man. Like, this can't be real.
Well, there's so much with Will Smith.
And his kids. Oh, man, we talked about that on my channel the other day where allegedly, there was a video allegedly of father, son, and Diddy.
Yeah.
At a freak off. If you didn't throw up in your mouth a little bit right now, I'm not sure what's going on with you. Kathy Dove, good to see you. Wow. Kathy Dove. You remember Kathy Dove?
I do.
Good to see you, man. Very, very cool.
We have 121 people in the chat.
Subliminal messages, huh? So, yeah.
I mean, if you don't mind, hit that like button because what it's going to do is going to push out and more people will see this.
True story. Tommy Bird, that's exactly right. I mean, this really is the lowest of the low. And you know,
just every day it seems to get worse.
And it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away. This is it.
However, I thought it was going to be a year or two before the trial, and you said June.
Yeah,
and it turns out it's going to be in May. I didn't think. You know, it makes sense though because if with a trial that so much of it, the quicker you get to trial, the more unprepared the prosecution can be.
Renee B says, "Read that for me."
Says, question, has Sarah Boone been sentenced for the suitcase murder? How many years do you think she should get?
Yeah, no, she's not been sentenced yet. But how many do I think she should get? I think she should never get out. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but if you've watched that video of her, there's a guy inside that suitcase. Like, that's a hard thing to wrap.
The first time I saw it, it was so creepy, knowing that he didn't get out of there.
And I'm claustrophobic to beat crap, right? So you can see him literally trying to push, right?
And he said, I can't breathe in there. She's like, that's what you get.
The timestamps, right? The timestamps. And when you look at the 2 different videos, that suitcase has moved a long distance.
She's kicking it, dragging it around.
She's dragging it. She's flipping it over. And that's, I think, where a lot of the damage came from. And she's a sick woman. I honestly, I think that kind of just depraved, you let that man die a really horrific death.
I know you've watched the very first time I watched the interrogation, they're like, yeah, you remember the video you got? We got a video. And she didn't know. She did not remember. Then you can see it kind of like, oh, no.
Yeah. If you've ever blacked anything out in your life,
why did she film it? She wasn't creating a snuff film. I think she just wanted to savor the torture later. I mean,
I think when you get really, really wasted, you do really stupid things. Seriously, like, do you know how many people I knew in prison? And when you get to know them a little bit better, and you say, "How did you get busted?" And they said, "Me and 5 of my gang member friends were like this, right, on a Facebook page, and they took photos of it, blew it up, took photos of it, blew it up, found out that what they were holding was stolen, and then went and got all of them and RICO'd the entire crew." And this kind of crap happens all the time. You say, who would take a picture of
Aren't you glad we grew up when we did?
Oh, my God.
Can you?
Oh, my God. I don't even like to think about it. Honestly, I don't like to think about it. But, yeah, I think she should get.
That was the last bag she's ever packed for a man, period, says Tommy. Drop the mic, dude. Drop the mic.
Yeah, that's the end of that. Yadira, good to see you. I'm glad you're here.
Tristan, good to see you.
I really am. I think she should never get out. And I'm not trying to be really cold-hearted, but
she's not fit. You understand? She's not jail material.
Spike Z nailed it. Yeah, you'd need a board the size of Alaska if you wanted to connect all that. And you know what? Here's the thing, right? Let's have some fun. Can we have some fun? We can have a little
Have some fun.
All right, we'll just do the allegedly thing real quickly, and I'll tell you all of the really good rumors that are going around that I don't necessarily believe any of, but allegedly, do you know the number of people who have allegedly hauled ass out of the United States on their private planes?
Oh, you got Ellen.
Okay, Ellen's gone. Allegedly.
You got Oprah's gone.
Allegedly, Oprah's gone.
Is LeBron around? Did he take off?
You know, that one's up in the air, but allegedly he is
he's
at least thinking about it. Yeah, he's taller than most. What will happen to Boone in prison? I can't imagine she's going to be popular, but I will tell you this. And I'm sure most of you, a lot of you are into this, right? A lot of you people follow this stuff the same way that I do. And if you have watched any of this, right, that's gone. If you have watched any of this at all, her voice now, when she goes on and they start asking her, she has become just the nicest person you've ever heard. Like she's been practicing this crap a long time.
Well, just tells you she can control it. Listen, she's skilled. She knows what she's doing.
Well, do you remember how gnarly she was and her voice and all that in the interrogation? Just heinous, right? And ugly. Well, now she's got.
So she went to refining school or something.
She also wants makeup. You've heard the demands for that. But I don't think there's any chance whatsoever that she's not going to get the book thrown at her.
And she will not have a good time.
And she had a shot. She had a shot at getting a.
Did you guys hear this?
Sentence.
They worked out a deal. It was like 9.5 years. She was going to get out in 5, a little over 5.
Yeah, 15 is what they were going to give her. But with all of the way that 15 works, she's already been in 4 years, right? So good time, 65%, couple of programs. Like she literally could have been out in under 6, right? 6 more. I don't mean 2 more.
So
years.
they imagine that they give her a deal. They say, "Hey, we're going to let you get out in less than 6 years." That, or you're facing. What, 22 or over 2?
I mean, at a minimum,
life could be life,
right? They could give her whatever,
and she said,
"I'll risk it."
So then, just so you guys know, we were talking. I said, "You must have met guys in jail that had that happen." He told me a story.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you can tell because I don't know.
This is heartbreaking, but I knew a dude that was.
And that only happens in federal.
Yes, absolutely. I shouldn't say only, but it is business policy in the feds that if you don't take the deal, right? First of all, if you do take the deal, they give you 3 points, a 3-point lower deduction in sentencing for assisting in your own prosecution.
That's it.
No joke. They're going to drop you 3 points because you assisted in your own prosecution by pleading guilty. If you don't, they're not going to go, okay, we offered you 4 years.
Right.
Since you didn't take the deal, we went to court. Now we're going to give you 4. No, we're going to give you as much time as we possibly can.
Is that just to punish you, like to make an example out of you?
Because they don't want. They said that they don't want to waste the money that it costs to go in and try somebody, right? And their conviction rate's 98% for this reason, right? 98.2.
I heard that.
So, but I knew a guy that they came to him and said 3.5 years. We'll give you 3.5 years. And he said to them,
you can do that standing on your head.
Right, straight out. The guy said, you haven't got much on me, have you? Right? 3.5 years you're offering me? Doesn't sound like you got a lot of evidence tying this thing up. And what they did instead was they went and got him some evidence. They went and spent a decent amount of time and money putting a case together, and he got 35 years. And you got to know that when that 3 years gets up, right?
3 to 35.
When that 3 years gets up and you slide into year 4, you're going, oh my
every
God.
Morning. Every morning.
I could be home. I could have taken the deal. And the suitcase girl, I promise you, as love that guitar behind you, Johnny. Yeah, as messed up as she is, I promise you, she's still going to be able to figure out, hey, Jane Aldrich, she's still going to be able to figure out that she screwed this up massively.
It's no wonder she's having trouble with lawyers, keeping a lawyer. What's she gone through, 7 or 8 of them now?
I think this is lawyer 10. They're not all her fault. Some of them, there were conflicts of interest or whatever.
Renee says it's sad in this country. If you don't take a plea deal, they punish you.
Especially in the feds, right? And they're not going to fart around about it. Like they're not going to lie to you. Your lawyer will say to you, if they're offering you 5 right now and you go, well, what do you think my odds of winning are? 60%, 70%. Okay. If I lose, what am I going to get? I don't know, 50. Like they're gonna literally.
I wonder what the advice Boone got. Did they say, "Listen to me, I don't care. Take this and run and be so glad. Don't ask questions. Just sign on the dotted line and take that 5 years. Because if you don't, you're going to be in all day." Yeah. You think they said that to her? Was it harsh? And she, in spite of that,
absolutely.
So is that ego? Is it narcissism? Is it stupidity?
Yeah, well, all the above. So when most people who follow me know that at one point I was married to an attorney, and the attorney that I was married to was actually working on my case. Not at the time, but we fell in love and started a relationship while all that was going on. And it's a very different situation because she sat in a room with me and went, with the evidence they got against you, nah, man, we're taking this to the box. We're fighting this thing. The second that girl developed feelings for me, she was like, look, we're taking a deal. Here's what they're offering, and we're taking this today. And I said, I thought we had a good chance of beating. She said, we do. But if by some chance we lose, I'm not waiting 25 years for you to get out, which is what they will do to you if you don't take the deal. And so, you take the deal.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And the same thing. And I don't think she's going to have a good experience there. I mean, nobody has a good experience, but she just doesn't seem like the type that's going to fare well in the pokey.
Because she's a jackass. You know what I mean? She's an absolute jackass. She's I'm not one of those armchair people that says, she's narcissistic and she's got, antisocial personality. I don't know what the hell she's got. But I would say that woman is more focused on herself than anybody in the world. While most of us have watched the interviews, right? But while she's sitting there and they are saying, you killed this
I think she was still feeling what she drank today. I think she was still a mess during that interview because you know how it is. She didn't seem so sharp to me. I mean, I remember watching it going,
I didn't do it on purpose. Yeah, but I didn't do it on purpose. Like, she truthfully believes that there is the on purpose clause.
Comment: the case of Khalif Browder is sad. He was innocent and wanted to go to court instead of a plea.
You know something? There are so many. Honestly, there are so many cases, unfortunately, that I think we're just starting to scratch the surface, and it's because of people like you. I'm not even being funny, but it's because of people like you. Because for the longest time, a guy gets out of prison and starts talking to anybody, and people run like hell, right? They don't want to be anywhere near an ex-convict because they're an ex-convict. But now, because of some large, channels, because of social media, people are describing what it looks like inside this place. Because I'll tell you something, the pictures they're showing you are not really MDC Brooklyn. They're not, right? They're showing you pictures of far stereo.
Stock B photos.
Well, I mean, I literally saw the shoe from Lewisburg. They showed the shoe from Lewisburg, which it's about 100 years old, compared to a facility that was built in the 90s. I know what MDC Brooklyn looks like. Every one of those
looks like the hallway from a Frankenstein movie.
Oh, you're talking about the
Lewisburg?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, no joke.
It's creepy as all hell. It is creepy as all
hell.
hell.
Another thing that's weird that's happening. Scott Peterson looks like he may get another shot. The Menendez brothers may get. I mean,
this is.
Do you think we're just getting soft? They don't. There's no such. First of all, you know what I think, and maybe I don't know.
The internet.
If they say you're going to jail for 20 years, you should go to jail for 20 years. Life should be life. Life doesn't mean life.
And here's the problem, man. The problem is that we have a whole new generation of people that didn't see any of these guys get convicted, right? Nobody remembers.
So they feel bad for it. They don't realize the horror of it all.
Yeah, now they hear of some
sporting Rolexes and driving a Porsche a week after.
Writing a story about it, right? If you follow the Menendez case, he was on the phone going, you know what? I was practicing my crying, and I really have got this down to a science. Like he was bragging about how well he had got his crying down. They were guilty of sin. I'm sorry. Now, was Dad a prick? Yeah, that was a bad dude. He, there's a lot of evidence that the father might have been exactly what they said that person was. Right? He was touching. He may have been touching the kids, and you know what? Maybe they deserve to to be punished for that. The way that they did it, though, was pretty rugged.
You gotta have some wicked anger to reload and keep going.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that with a BB gun, that's one thing, but a shotgun?
And on your mother and your father. And you're out buying Porsches and
Lyle and Eric Menendez, Bruce.
Bruce.
In the 80s, 90s? Or
the murders happened in the 80s. It was the very end of the decade.
A privileged family, great kids had everything.
Dad was a music executive, oddly enough. And there's some evidence that he was messing around with one of the kids, allegedly, from the band Menudo, which was this band that never aged, right? This was a band. I'm not kidding.
None of them are shaving still.
Well, what they do is as the guy got close enough to
get rid of him,
they get rid of him, bring a new one in, and it was a never-ending deal with this band. But he apparently did some bad stuff to at least one of these people from the band came out and said, yes, this happened to me. And that was their defense back in the day. I'm waiting on the Corey Feldman trial.
Listen, we talked about him last night.
We did. We got on a Feldman. I'll tell you something. It's sad how often
it's a wicked rabbit hole, dude. I'll tell you what. You got to be careful. It will suck you in like a
you will circle the drain on Corey Feldman. If you're new to this, be very, very careful. Menudo, Puerto Rican teenage rock band from the 80s. Yeah, Yadira. And they kind of stayed at one age, right? As people got older, they replaced him, and that's what was happening with the Menendez dad. It was his responsibility to shepherd that band around and tour with them and stuff like that. Apparently, he was putting his hands in places where he shouldn't have on one of them, right, for a extended period of time, which lends credence to what the kids said. But what happens again is this internet thing, right? The echo chamber. I mean, we started out with Diddy saying this guy had freak offs, right? This guy had parties where he was having sex with people, he was drugging them, and he was filming them. That's nasty enough. Now we have underground tunnels. We've got every major star in the world jetting off to their secret hiding places, right? Presidents. You realize that it's all BS and it's getting wicked out of control, right? Because it's a cottage industry. And what's happening is, just like the Menendez brothers and just like Scott Peterson, you know what? Scott Peterson was a handsome dude. Say what you will, that cat was a handsome dude. And there's a lot of people. There's 10,000 people that are beating the drum saying that dude is innocent.
Okay, I got a question from Piper. Do we think that a teen, 14 or 15, should be given life charged as an adult?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's a case by case. I think I got to look at each one of them.
But I think what you do is, if you give somebody who is 14 or 15 life in prison, that should be 15 years, and then they come up for some kind of a hearing, because a 14-year-old is not developed enough in the brain. But I'll tell you something. I met guys in prison, right, who popped somebody at 15, and at 21 they were on the street, right? No harm, no foul, out. And the problem with that is gangs love this. Right? You really want to make your bones? Dude, go do it at 15. At 21, by the time you're able to drink, you're going to be walking out of there a free man, and you've made your bones. You're in the club, right? That's frightening stuff.
That's terrifying.
That's frightening stuff. So I think that it's one of those things, in my humble opinion, that if you're going to give somebody who's under 18, I mean, Q is this close to being that case.
Within the last few years, they made a law that somebody charged as an adult as an adult, as a juvenile, cannot be given life. And there's a bunch of people. There's some scary cases where people are going to be getting out that we never thought that we're going to be getting out, and that
might get out. Yeah, it's not a lock. They still have to go in front of the people. I remember the whole Scott Peterson thing. I used to watch Nancy Grace. You know, Nancy Grace. Not only was she super into Scott Peterson, but Drew Peterson, like, that really made her. She really had a thing for Drew Peterson.
Although I'll tell you what, she did really good on milk cartons.
Yeah, she really couldn't stand him. And I met Drew Peterson, and Drew was really quick to tell you that of all of the people on planet Earth, he was not fond of her. She was tops on the list. He would describe her as.
But the last thing in the world you ever want is to hear Nancy Grace say your name.
Boy, oh boy.
Same thing. You know what? Another one that I don't ever want to talk to. I'm not going to say it. The behavior panel.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk to them either.
John Benet Ramsey case. You know what? There some of those cases where you just go, you know what? We're gonna leave planet Earth, and we're not gonna know what happened. I'm at least happy that there's a chance we're gonna find out. We're gonna see people go to prison for what happened to Biggie and what happened to Tupac. And
I imagine right now the lawyers are split between divorce lawyers and criminal lawyers.
You talking about from all of those?
Yeah, I'll bet you there's seriously, they got two of them. I need two lawyers today. One for the divorce that's impending, like Ashton Kutcher. There's a rumor that's saying that they're done.
Yeah, I've heard that.
What was the other guy? J-Lo and what's his name?
Yes.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
And I heard on a pretty good authority that is absolutely a direct result of this.
I've heard that too.
They're like, I don't want you. I'm doing you a solid.
I have heard that he got called in, and they said, you are not going to believe all of the stuff that's going to come rolling out. Just trying to do you the homeboy kick down. You might want to consider.
Thank God, though. Can you imagine? I mean, it's bad enough. Here's the deal. There's no way to escape it. You're still attacked.
Actually, Charles Manson is a good example of a person raised mostly in the juvenile detention centers and prisons. They didn't do a great job raising a human. The term "state raised" is something that you hear an awful lot in prison, and guys say it like almost a badge of honor thing, but they're usually doing life sentences also.
I feel bad for Charlie Manson.
Yeah,
he's a very bad dude. But if that happened today, there's no way he's going to jail for life. No way.
He had a very unusual case because he didn't actually kill him.
Listen, I've read a couple books about him.
Yeah,
like
there's a really good one that just came out. I actually have it. It's he would get his butt whipped all the time in Corcoran. Yeah, and he'd also get set on fire. He had a lot of bad things happen to him.
They kicked his teeth out, apparently.
He was also about this tall, right? Charles Manson was not a big man.
But boy, was he fun in an interview, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's an interview with Geraldo where he walks in and goes, "Man, is it hot in here or am I crazy?"
It really might be one of the funniest things that ever was said. Is it hot in here or am I crazy? A little bit of both, Charlie.
But what was funny about that? Watching Geraldo Rivera try to act like a tough guy. That was hilarious.
Did you say you're staying sober?
Who said that?
Right there. I'm new to the super hot family. Keeping me sober. I want to tell you something. I love this.
Zong.
Hey, God bless you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything keeping you sober, anything that's getting you to
peppers will help. Peppers help.
Peppers do help, right? They release endorphins. There's a lot.
Builds serotonin, which helps you.
All kinds of good stuff happening, right?
Absolutely. Bruce remembers seeing one of Charlie Manson's later interviews. He was pretty much challenging the intelligence of the interview the whole time. Listen, don't kid yourself. He was a smart dude. He was wicked smart. But
here's the thing with Charlie Manson, right? Here's the thing with Manson. And the book that I just read, the most recent book, the guy who wrote it took about 20 years to do it. It's an amazing book. But if you look at the guy's criminal record, right? Charlie Manson, there was no violence. There was no nothing. He exhibited no signs of being anything like he was until the last time he got out. When he got paroled the last time, he walked out a completely different man than every other time he ever walked out. He would walk out, he'd go get a couple of petty charges, he'd steal a car, whatever, and he'd go right back like
he was a thief, is what he was.
Yeah, but there's a lot there that said that there's some 3-letter government agencies that may have gotten a hold of him in San Francisco and fed him some stuff that some of us have done, right? Little pieces of paper you stick on your tongue.
Sheets.
And they were giving him big amounts of it. And it's a pretty interesting read. Someone's going to put up the name because you guys are smarter than I am. Here's the thing. Here's the deal. Sure, LeBron. Here's the thing. Here's the deal.
RC here wants to see me interview Wim Hof. Dude, I'd love that.
You know what? Have you been hearing stuff about Wim Hof?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like this doesn't help you or whatever.
Well, they're always going to do that because it looks kind of crazy on the outside. You know, the cold water's going to help. I mean,
this coming from Johnny Scoville.
Listen, I get that guy. I would love to hang out with him. We can eat a tube of terror in a frozen hot tub. I do that.
You used to see Drew Peterson. He shopped in the Sam's Club you worked at.
Wow.
He and I ended up on a medical yard together.
I got a great picture of Tommy with him.
Yeah, at the same time. He and I ended up on a medical yard together at the same time, and he's an ass. He really is. And
you know what? He was so arrogant. I think he's a narcissist, isn't he?
Yeah. You talk about a guy that he really enjoyed all of it. They would circle him like he was walking from one place to another, and he would stop like he was signing autographs, like he was he was leveling up. Well, that's exactly what he did. Like he went on a tour of the United States. He went on. He did Dr. Phil. Then he went on Howard Stern. They were doing a thing, no joke. Who wanted to date Drew Peterson? And they were trying to set him up on a date with the girl from Florida, and Kaylee Anthony.
Shut up.
They were trying to put the two of Mancow was the one I think who was trying to put it together.
They were trying to put together a reality show.
Oh, holy crap. Like, I mean, it was so out of control. He allegedly got rid of his wife. And I'll tell you what, that's not allegedly. I knew the cat. But anyway, he got rid of his wife and then rode the wave of all of the people that wanted to ask him questions about it. Like he was a freaking rock star. Like he thought it was the coolest thing in the world. He bragged about, I met Pink. He had a list of all these people he met backstage and how they all loved him. It was really crazy stuff. I mean, that dude's not quite right.
Well, but if it happened today, you know that it wouldn't have the same results.
Christy Melinda, the book is Chaos. Thank you. See that? Read that out for me, would you?
I wonder if the book is Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s.
Yes, that is the book. If you haven't read it, it is worth reading. It's a great read.
Look at Body Illusion. Tommy, I thought this was going to be a throw-up show.
Stick around. I might hurl. You know what I mean? It's early in the show. If you were... if you're sticking around seriously for that, I'll be honest.
The Texas hotspot.
My that dry heave noise that I make.
I found a glorious video of you. I'll show you later. I can't show them.
Yeah.
I filmed you the time that you did the 5 million Scoville. You did like 3 drops of them.
No. When I was on my side.
Yeah, it's going to be some hush money coming. Craig Price is a serial killer from my home state, Rhode Island. Killed a woman when he was 13. Boy, he was on a roll, huh? Arrested at 16, never gotten out. He attacked a CEO and another inmate. Well, he sounds like he's where he should be.
What's your book's name? I want to pre-order. You know, it's funny that you say that.
We've been talking about that.
Because we really have.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to, honestly. Like, there are people smarter than me that I'm supposed to check with, right? There are people way smarter than the both of us. We're not the thinkers in here, man. We're really not.
We've done very well with what we've got.
No question, right? I mean, we've been pretty safe.
Now look at that. As me of everything, Tristan says Johnny needs another chugging milk challenge. That was a great challenge.
You know something? If you've never seen the Systroming stuff that we did, where we eat this fish that's just the most disgusting stuff in the world, or where we tried to pound a gallon of milk, right? In like, I don't know, 15 minutes or something like that. I got so close to
the worst. I think about that. There's this much left. If they put a gun to your head and said, "Drink this,"
couldn't have done it. Couldn't have done it.
Do you know what? That hurt me. The aftermath of that, I felt like crap for 12 hours. I just felt awful. Here's the deal. I don't care if you
not me. I got rid of that. I got rid of every single bit of that milk in about 2 seconds, and it went made a great noise. You've never seen it. It's really something.
There's a segment of the population that's lactose intolerant. If you try to drink a gallon of milk, you're going to be lactose intolerant. I don't care. I mean, you just are.
Yeah, your body just does
not. And I just
take
felt like crap for hours, man.
No, he really did too. He was going.
I'd way rather get burned.
Well, and you were hoping it was going to come back up, and it didn't.
You know, Charlie that day said, left a comment. He said, "Is it time for another Systroming?"
Yeah, that's. I always tell people, like, I set goals. When I hit 50,000, maybe we'll do some Systroming again.
If I wrote the book, I'd title it "The Reflections Redemption." Interesting.
Zach D, good to see you, brother.
Hi, Zach. Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, man. Really appreciate it.
No, we have the book is done. A couple small things I need to do, but it's essentially done. Which one do you want to read?
Catalina.
All right. I became into YouTube true crime as soon as creators went up because I lost my childhood best friend to a horrific murder in Texas. He got the DP almost 10 years after he's convicted. Rest in peace.
I am so sorry you lost your friend. You know, I really am. And
that will change you.
Yeah, absolutely it will. You know, what's really crazy to me is that I used to be a real advocate for the death penalty. And now I am of the firm belief that if you really want to punish somebody, you don't do that to them. You make them live in there for the rest of their lives.
You make them do calisthenics. You make them eat a good diet, make them work out.
Yeah, it's awful. It really is. I think that a lot of them are really happy to get that. It's a better deal because it's the hopelessness of knowing that you're going to spend the rest of your life in a box that's 52 square feet. I think that that's probably a fate worse than death. But I understand where people come on both sides of that and completely understand it.
Okay, Kestrel asked, did you eat it properly, the Systroming, open underwater, and the bread and sliced dishes traditional with rotten canned fish? Here's what we did. I'm an idiot. It is what it is. I've done Systroming like 5 times or 6 times. The very first time I did it in the backyard here at this house. And
it wasn't this house. I assure you.
No, excuse me. It was in Reno, but I wore a garbage bag, and I did it traditionally. I did it both ways in the video. I did it traditionally with a slice of onion, and I did it exactly as I was told. Bread, the whole 9 yards. Didn't help. So it's not like if you do that, all of a sudden things combine and it's a glorious meal. It was horrific. Yeah. And every time after, and we didn't open it when we do it together. We never open it underwater because that's some of the fun is watching the person who has to open it.
Exactly. You do a paper, rock, scissors to see who gets sprayed. But I'll tell you something. The second time I did it, I did it with somebody else. But the second time you and I did it.
Was that when you left in the desert for a week?
We did it the right way, which is when you take a can of Systroming and you put it in the desert in Arizona. So what, 110, 115 degree temperature.
3 weeks or so?
Every day for 3 weeks. And then you come across it and go, holy crap, that hasn't exploded yet.
It's almost round at that point. It's bulging.
We put it outside because we thought it was going to explode. It was so like bowed out. So we put it outside. And then when we came across
that scarred my soul, dude. That hurt me to do that. Emotionally.
No. There's no question.
I had PTSD for a long time from that.
You can go back and watch that and go to different sections of it and watch it in slow motion. And it is the funniest.
He has a full body shiver. It starts at his feet and you can see it ripple up his body and it goes out his arms.
There's a couple of times in there. There really are a couple of times in that second one where it's so disgusting that every part of my body tries to shut down briefly.
And then you get Big Al, who drinks the juice from that.
There's something so wrong with Big Al, though. I mean, well, here's the thing. There's got to be people out there that can dig this stuff, right?
No, I told you, it's a countrywide joke. They're all laughing at us. They are. Here's how it works. I got to figure it out. Everybody in the entire country over there is part of it. You own the company. Everybody puts a little bit of money, and then they send it off to dummies in America, and they watch and laugh their butts off, and everybody gets stock. They get dividends at the end of the year. They're all giggling at us. I don't believe anybody.
You've done wonders for their country then, because seriously, the number of idiots that have done this because you did it first, I'm one of them. I'm one of those idiots. Big Al is broken. Great guy, but broken. DJ Daddy-O knows.
Yeah.
What's this here?
Is there any way I can show you the hot sauces I use in my spicy chili? Send me pictures. You can take some pictures and email them to me at chasetheheat@gmail.com.
And Hummingbird, great to see you.
Hi, Ann Hummingbird.
Be careful consuming too much liquids.
Tell your
There's a mom who died after consuming too much water to win an Xbox for her boys. Water toxicity.
That was in Reno too.
Water toxicity is a real thing.
Throws your electrolytes off, and if you get to the hospital, there's not a thing they can do to save you.
Do you know this happens more often than not? Not because of people who are trying to win things, but people who are trying to beat piss tests. People who are trying to not because
I've heard it ecstasies at raves. People get overheated and they just drink too much and
because it feels good and they like the way it goes down there. But it's a really big deal because the theory has always been this: if you put 3 gallons of water through you, right, none of it can touch going through your liver. It's got to go to your kidneys and straight the hell out. There's no time to go through it, so you're urinating water, right? The problem is in the feds they have this little thing and they take an eyedropper and they put it in this machine and they go, there's no specific gravity, right? The specific gravity has to hit a certain number. And they'll go, this is water. You can sit around for 45 minutes and give us another one, right? Or you failed. And what is surstroming? Surstroming is the worst fish ever made. It's in a can. They were supposed to add a crap load of salt to cure this stuff. This is the theory, right?
Yeah.
But they ran low on salt, right? So they were trying to hustle whoever they were selling this to. It was a con. It was a con, and now they still continue to make it, even though it tastes like. Eek.
Are you from the East Coast? And when did you get to Arizona?
And why did you get to Arizona? Because you get old, and the cold weather starts to get to a point where you're like, I can't do this anymore, man. I spent my.
There's got to be a happy medium, dude. You can cook stuff on the sidewalk. People die out there.
Yeah, but there's like 3 months of the year that suck here, and then the rest of the time is just fantastic. But there are 3 months of the year here that suck.
It's brutal.
It's so damn hot that like the hot's hot. It's just crazy.
Lots of people collapse at our music festivals here in Australia, overheated because of what they're taking, and enough proper hydration, usually alcohol.
Alcohol is nothing in the world will suck all of the water right out of your body like alcohol. It will literally drain the water out.
Isn't that all a hangover is? Is just
a hangover is acute alcohol withdrawal. But yeah, that New England, they're here. Cold is in our blood. Well, no question, man. I did a lot of cold winters. I love New England, man. I really do. I just can't. I can't kick it there.
Cold.
What about cranberry pills or juice? You mean to beat a drug test? I'll tell you the easiest way to beat a drug test, and I'm not even being a wise ass.
Don't do drugs.
It's to stop doing drugs. And the reason I say that is this. I tried to beat the drug tests for the feds first time around, right? When I got out of prison the first time. And I tried everything, every way you could do it. And the final way I tried was a Whizzinator. And there's no getting away with that. You go in there and they go, drop your pants to your ankles. Like you're just done. There's no way to fake it with them. So it was so much fun the next time when I got out and it was like, yeah, tell me when you want me to go. Right? There was nothing to worry about. It was it was fun, is what it was. It was a lot easier than was anything else. The Reaper I ate hit a 6. The endorphin dump. That's serious stuff right there, man.
I'll tell you what, the endorphin dump is a beautiful thing. Tad never had one. And when he had the warthog this last time, he finally got an endorphin dump.
You know the time that you filmed me where I was laying on my side and
that's the video I got of you.
Where the sweat's all over my back? Yeah, that I got an endorphin. And I remember the endorphin kicking in, but I got that wave BS, right? I stood up and went, oh, God, you remember? We can laugh about it now. I'm like, that was awful. That was the worst thing that ever happened to me. God, thank God it's over. And then, bam, it came right back.
Lego asked Tomas Scoville, when are you going to be eating a warthog?
Yeah.
The only warthog he's going to eat is an actual hog that we barbecue.
Yeah. I'll be really honest with you. I'm not a guy that gets that. I don't enjoy the burn at the same level that Johnny Scoville does. I don't. I mean, keeping it real, I do it more often than not because it's, it gets to a point where I'm not into abusing myself for everybody's entertainment. Johnny digs this stuff, like he really does. I promise you, when he's not filming, he's still eating peppers. Like this is something that he does all of the freaking time, man. And
RC here doesn't do drugs anyway. Good. We're glad. Broom's here. No way. Broom got decimated. He's had some rough weather in Florida. Tom, I love you, dude. Good to see you. Tell Cindy I said hi. We are in Tucson right now, dude.
Yeah, you know something. I really
Jason Pete there's a bunch of people that had really bad weather.
Tampa B just got power back on. I know that right before we went live.
Apparently, 3 million people lost their power.
Yeah, and Lisa Trimble, who's a really close friend of the channel, her house was right in the line of fire as well. So she had to evacuate and hasn't been home yet. Scary stuff. It really is scary stuff. It was funny stuff when we ate the fish in the desert. Yeah, you know what, Sherry? That really was probably some of the funniest stuff that we've done.
Here's the problem. You know what's funny about those? Like when you're going through it, you hate, you're so angry, you're mad, it's gross. The second it's my turn, boy, you're getting like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, it's so much more fun when you're watching somebody else suffer from that. That really is the truth. It's way. When is this book coming out?
So here's the deal.
2 weeks.
You ever see what was that movie? What was it?
It's coming out in 2 weeks.
What was that movie? Money Pit.
Hi, Johnny. Hi,
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Hi, Caroline, thank you so much.
Hi, Caroline. Thanks for being here. Listen, the book is done. It was an ordeal. It almost killed me to write it. It took poor Tommy, man. He read it and wasn't the same for a month.
No, it's not a feel-good story.
No, none of that. Like, I know that something good's going to come from it. Like, I'm sure of it, but releasing it's a heavy deal, man. You can't unring that bell. And the second it's out there, it is out there.
Cheeky, we're going to give you the opportunity to do that. I promise next week. Here's what's going to happen. 7 days from today, we're going to do this show again. We're going to announce the name of the book. 7 days after that, the pre-orders will go. 7 days after that, we should be full blown.
That's exactly what's happening.
How about that?
Man, you said that well.
Right? I didn't even rehearse that. Chili Phil's been going hard all day.
Chili Phil's a beast. Broom says, Johnny, I'll be taking some pictures tomorrow. The man forest is now a man swamp. Oh, never foot of water. He has a man forest behind his house. It's just, remember Man Forest? You ever remember with the book when you were a kid where the wild things are?
Oh, yeah.
It's that.
Nice.
Just the shade everywhere. You can walk around. It's just the coolest place in the world. I hope you dry out quickly, Tom. Tommy Burt says, West Virginia, where I live right here on the Ohio River, really isn't an eventful place, but we never get any natural disaster of any kind, minus a heavy river flood. No tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, nothing. What's the weather like, Tommy?
Are you doing something right?
Yeah, here's the deal. I don't like extremes. I don't like to be 110. What irritates me is when it's 105 and you're griping about the heat. Well, it's not hot.
Right? Oh, it hasn't even got hot yet. And the people down here say that. Like when it's 105 and they'll go, oh, no, it's not hot. You haven't felt hot. Hot's above 130.
No, I asked our sister Scoville, when does a Arizonan wave the white flag? All right, fine, it's hot. She said 5 days above 105. So you get 5 days in a row above 105, you can start griping about the heat. I don't have it in me.
I'm gonna start griping way the hell before we hit 5 days for real. That's not gonna work for me at all. But I stay inside, man. You know, you get great air conditioning. It's all kinds of fun, right? Yeah.
And then when it's really hot, it's like the Twilight Zone around here. You can drive somewhere and you don't see people anywhere outside. In cars you see them, but nobody's outside.
Amanda, I absolutely miss watching the seasons change. I really do. And this is something that I talked about a lot with a lot of people. And the older I get, the more I miss it. I really do, especially like summer going into fall. Where I grew up was just the most beautiful thing in the world. Every year it was just the most beautiful thing in the world. And it always meant that skiing was, a couple of weeks away, right? And it was just a super exciting time every year. Loved it. And I miss it to beat hell. What I don't miss is that, every time I fell down, every time I took hey, Katie did, every time I fell, all those shots I took to the body, like I'm not in good shape. And the cold hurts, man. The cold hurts.
Someone asked me, Asmir asked me, I recommend skydiving?
Oh my Lord, yeah.
Yeah, there was some other part of the question. All right, would you recommend skydiving? Want to do it, but keep backing out?
Oh, absolutely, man.
Our theory, because we've talked about this a bunch, I jumped with Tommy. The first time I ever jumped, we did it together. There's only two kinds of people in the world: people that'll jump out of a perfectly good airplane, and people that just won't. Skydiving, the ability to do that isn't for the people that will be like, yeah, I'll do it. If you're one of those people that says, I would never do it, that's who it's for. I kid you not. You will change your life. You got to do it.
I'm going to make that happen, Mischief Man. You watch. In fact, we were just talking about this. Here's the good thing. We're going to be doing I'm going to be doing a show with Johnny every Saturday. We're going to start doing this every Saturday. And then Sunday, over on the Lifeboat, it's going to be me and my brother Russ doing Night Yard. So that's how I'm going to spend. That's how I'm going to spend my weekends, which would be cool. So I'm going to get Johnny set up with the streaming service that I use because it's just a whole lot easier to schedule stuff.
I had a bad experience with the streamer.
I know you did.
I can't remember what it was though. I just remember it was horrific.
I know. I remember you telling me about it, and it sounded really, really bad. But hang gliding, Kestrel, it's 10 times more dangerous. No, what are you talking about?
Last night I showed Tommy. I don't like firecrackers. I've been wanting a wingsuit for a long time, so I showed Tommy a video last night of a dude, and he goes, "That's not real." It was real. This dude's standing on the edge of a I don't know what it was. He's holding a carpet.
Yes,
I'm not making it up. Like a carpet that you'd have in your living, a throw rug.
Right.
It wasn't round or anything. It was like a rectangle. But yeah. I'll tell you, and just hopped off, and he was turning. And you don't need a wingsuit. I just need a carpet and a good hill.
Yeah, you're not right. No, I would absolutely do skydiving. The wingsuit stuff, amazingly, I have zero desire at all to wingsuit.
Right? See, I have to do it. I just have to, man.
Yeah. Striker Fox. You guys know Striker Fox.
It's a sweet reference.
Johnny's going to end up slapping into the side of a mountain and going really fast. Everybody that does that sport smacks the side of a mountain going really fast.
No, it's because you try to thread the needle. I don't want to thread the needle, dude. I don't.
It starts that way.
No, I just want to cruise a riverbed.
No, that's BS. It's the same thing. It's everything else, man. It's everything else. It's a motorcycle, right? I'm never going to try to go over 60. Like that won't happen. All right. And you have it 3 months and you're going 130. You're leaning into corners and getting all ugly. Russ has got a Hayabusa. He goes from
that's a scary thing.
That's what I'm saying, man.
But you have to. Here's the thing. I know I'll be good at it. I can't believe you're so much like me. I can't believe there's not something in you that makes
Johnny do it in a wind tunnel. See, there you go. Put your freaking wings.
I saw one. It's in Sweden. The only one that's indoor is in Sweden, and it's really weird. If you look at it, there's like a wooden ramp, and the air comes up this way. You just kind of fall down on it and just kind of.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It isn't going to work for me. I need to jump off something.
Yeah, there's something so wrong with you, man. Like, I just don't have any desire.
Hang on, man. This is good. This is important. Could we please get some ones for the family of my friend Michael? Michael passed away the day before yesterday. 6 days before that, they lost their beloved dog. That was like the child.
The Sunrise Dawn. I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's brutal.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers going out to the family. It's awful.
Hang in there. Look at all that. I love you guys for doing that.
Yep, solid crew people, man.
Wind tunnel in Vegas, I think. They have a bunch of the.
Oh yeah, indoor skydiving. We even have it here. There's indoor skydiving in Tucson.
You know what? You've jumped out of a plane,
right? Yeah, what I don't want to do, I'd jump out of a plane again. I think that was great fun. I know myself.
Well, fine. How about we do this? Remember when we jumped in Texas? You were like 3 miles from the drop zone because it was howling wind.
Yeah.
When I jumped, the wind was fine, and they dropped me right over the drop. The plane slowed down. I was like looking at it. We hopped out. When they dropped him, the wind's getting really. I'm like, it's blowing kind of hard. Are you sure we're supposed to be going? Yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
They dropped him so far down that we couldn't hear. You could hear an engine cut when they drove you.
Yeah,
it slows down and everybody bails out. You can hear the engine cut. You're like, oh, here we go. He was so far away you couldn't hear the engine. I'm like, where is he? Oh, he jumped. I'm like, you're kidding me. He's gonna die. Yeah. And the wind was. But that's what I'm. Here's on a good day. Fun. Here's the deal, though. On a good day, with no wind. We jump 4 or 5 miles away from the drop zone and fly in. No trees, no riverbed, no striker fox.
Yep.
You'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll do that?
Yeah, sure. And you know what? And the next time you'll be like, hey, I found this spot.
No, I won't.
And you're not going to believe this crap. There's trees on both sides, right? And there's this rock, and we get this close to it.
No.
Light a match. Snap off of the thing, right? Light your cigar on the way by. Because you're that kind of moron. Yeah, you're Johnny Scoville. There's not much chance of that, right? I don't have to worry too hard about you doing something stupid. I mean, for the love of God, you're Johnny Scoville. If there's anybody that shouldn't wingsuit, anybody, it's you. Right? Watch, I'm going to write something on this wall on the way by. That's who you will be. I promise. That's who you will be.
Right? I know I'll be good at it.
Yeah, well, you very well may be, but even still.
Yeah, the mods are awesome. Here's one thing I want everybody to remember: we can't really control who gets in here. Do you guys understand? If somebody comes in here with a bad attitude, all they want in the entire world is to have you, or me, or Tommy to notice them and throw them off our game. So here's how we're always going to handle it. I don't care. It's like if they ran into a room naked, you don't look at them. I don't care what they say. No one's ever going to respond and say, get that guy out of here. Our mods are rock solid. Don't worry about it. But what we're going to do is pretend they're invisible to me. And that is the thing that irritates them the most. I promise you. And the truth is they are invisible to me.
Well, honestly, I feel bad for people that fail at everything they do. And I'm not being a wise ass. It's got to be hard. I did it for years. It sucks.
You know what?
Jason P says, what trolls?
Then you pick, what you do is you pick something that like New Year's resolutions. People always pick these ridiculous. I'm going to do an Ironman by June. You got to be smart. I'm going to get up tomorrow before 9.
Yeah.
Just make a goal that's attainable. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of people, look, this is one of those worlds that I don't know, people. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun doing this true crime crap. I'm having a lot of fun commenting on things that I don't know. Here's the thing. I truthfully and honestly believe 90% of what you hear is BS. And if you take the time to start tracking some of it down, you're going to realize it's BS. And I don't see enough people out there that are saying that want to actually put out a true story, because it doesn't matter one way or the other, right? The less of a true story I put out, the more cash I'm going to make. If I came out tomorrow and said Diddy is sleeping with his mom and everyone else is saying that, I'm going to get a ton of views. Hey, Relatable Reese. Did someone say run in the room naked? Very funny. Very funny. But yes, folks, that's and we're going to continue to do it. We're going to be back here next week doing the same thing, same bad time, same bad channel. And we're going to start to
we're going to discuss kind of like current events. But we're going to stay away from the things that are divisive.
We're not what we're not going to talk about is politics.
Exactly.
But other than that, we talked about doing this 150 times. The problem is you're always on the road doing something, filming,
or you are,
or I am. And the fact that both of us are here.
Well, here's the deal. We can do it side by side. But if I'm somewhere else, we can do the split screen thing. But there's no reason for us not to continue this.
No, and I enjoy it, man. I really do.
And Brent's accent, he loves the concept.
Well, all right.
Great work, fellas. See, so how can we not do it?
Well, I just, something. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you. It really is. We've been doing this a long time, and we were doing this 20 years before there was a YouTube. It just wasn't YouTube, but we were still doing this. Do I have any tincture in that coffee? Your tincture burned me, dude. For real, your tincture burned me. I hadn't done tincture in a really long time, and your tincture hurt me. I did too much of it.
Well, that was on you. I didn't tell you to do that. I told you it was going to
be. How long it had been since I'd used a Robbie dropper at all? Like I hadn't used it. Really, it had been a very, very long time to.
Avlov, I would go from habanero. It depends on what's readily available to you. For a lot of folks, if they don't have a grower near them, all you got is a grocery store. The best thing you're going to do is probably a ghost pepper beyond that. But you don't need to eat the whole thing, just a sliver of it.
Yeah, you know something? I'm not a fan of habanero at all. If you can get past Hobbs, I'm telling you, you're. Don't forget Night Yard tomorrow night over on the Lifeboat, please. We'll be at our normal time over tomorrow night, and we're going to be cranking out a little Night Yard with me and Russ. It's always a lot of fun. Question and answers on prison and on anything else that comes up.
He's not mad at you, Dale. He's good.
Oh, I'm not mad at you, Dale. It hurt like hell, though. I promise you.
His son and I laughed.
It burned
with love, though.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you guys, again, it's been a long time since I ran a Robbie Dropper. And you know what? Since this is big boy stuff and we've been on a long time.
Boy, hold on. Miss Sunrise Dawn is hilarious. I want to catch your stand-up act. Love seeing the two of you together, even if my screen is melting from all the handsomeness.
No, I'll take that, right? I don't believe it.
That handsome ship left the port a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a few decades back.
It was once. No lie.
I used to, Tom Broom's done it to me in the past. Tom Broom, I stopped.
Oh, the bad one.
That's the one on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 15 million.
You're lucky. 5. You just did 3 drops. It's still only 5.
You're lucky I still talk to you, Tom Broom. There's video of that one. I had a miserable afternoon. That was one of the worst days I can remember.
He was upset. You remember for 3 hours, I stayed away from you.
Do you know why? Because honestly, up until that point, I had drank a bottle of tincture. I drank a bottle of tincture and didn't get cap cramps as bad as I got off of that crap that Broom did, the lemon stuff. That
was orange.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was orange, right?
But you're an idiot. You did more. You put an extra drop at the end. I'm like, I didn't know about that. But for 2 or 3 hours, I didn't even. He was in his room on the floor. I came in. I was like,
oh, man, it was so bad, man. It was so bad. I had a really, really awful time. I really did. It was, but I feel a whole lot better. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing.
I'm getting rid of a comment.
They can't see it anyway.
Oh, there you have them. Okay. Where's Squirrel? Look at that.
Yeah, let's just grab it.
Let's
grab it. Everybody is familiar with this, right? This is where the cat chills. If she's in the same room with us, she's usually in the basket. She's a very chill out, very special animal, Squirrel Nut Zipper. She really is. I put up a few squirrel videos today. She's
Piper says, Johnny and Tommy, first time here. Thank you, Piper.
Wow,
I love this. Always into real crime. Excellent. We're going to keep doing this.
Yeah, this is we're going to talk about current events. We're going to talk about whatever catches.
So if you guys have something you'd like us to talk about, throw it in the comment section.
Yeah. And you know what? This right here, this is a cat in a basket. And we did 1 hour. Let's call it a wrap. We'll leave them wanting more. Check it out. It is a cat in a basket. There's no getting around that.
All right. We love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. If you have anything you want us to cover, put it in the comment section. And a week, 1 week from today.
Yeah, we will see you 1 week from today. And Russ, I will see you and the rest of everybody for Night Yard tomorrow night. Love you guys.
I'm Johnny Scoville.
And Tommy.
And this was Chase the Heat.
It was. It was just Chase the Heat. I almost said something else. This really was Chase the Heat.